energy behind this was a shared sibling experience, but I express my gratitude to Sarah, who really has been the moving force between this, for this celebration, and thank you for that.
You're here.
Joint effort, but thank you.
You lit the fire, though.
Yeah. And you have a son?
Yes.
Well, hi.
Hi.
No, he's always in the background.
It's where he prefers to be.
I know. I'm calling. He's his
If I could just, this is our wedding anniversary party, so I can say I would like to just point out, this is a series of pictures that was put together. I think, Cord, you actually,
For our 40.
for our
40th.
40. And if you look at this picture, you will see here's Anne, confident, young, beautiful. Here is this funny-looking little guy who is very introverted, didn't know what in the world he was doing, had no idea, no opinions. You'll see that same trait. And I still, here I am, 50 years later, I still live in my head, and I still don't know quite what I'm doing. But I'm older now. And I want to just say something to you.
Really?
You're next. But Anne's family, which I entered as a graduate student, and some of you have heard this, and maybe Chuck has some of the same feelings. I entered this family of highly articulate people who talked to each other about problems, who talked about events, who had opinions, who were musical. And I remember being very overwhelmed. A little boy, an introvert on the Myers-Briggs scale, I'm off the scale introverted. And I really was out of my element, totally. And I was invited to Anne's home when I first arrived as one of the new graduate students of her father. And to show you how lucky that was, I am one who has always followed the path of least resistance in life. And I was scheduled, I was accepted at Columbia by a man I'd met at a thing as a college student. And then I suddenly realized where Columbia was, in the middle of New York City, and I knew I could not survive. So what was I to do? And it turns out that one of my friends was dating the daughter of one of the professors of anatomy at the University of Washington, and he came through, and she showed us some pictures of Seattle, and it looked beautiful, and the World's Fair was going to be there. What a nice place. And so I wrote off, and I was accepted at the zoology department and at the anatomy department, and they sent me some packages, and the anatomy department said, come on, we got a grant, we'll take you on. And the zoology department sent me a big packet of forms to fill out for financial aid, and and so forth. And I said, oh shoot, I'm going to the and the director of the graduate program was a man by the name of Dr. Edward Rosenrunge. And so I went there, and he invited me home to visit, just a new graduate student. And it was a lovely, sunny day in 1962. And into this sunroom walked this young daughter of his, wearing a beautiful green flowered thing. And he introduced me to Anne, and that was my first view of Anne. But here was a woman who, I didn't know she was all that young at the time, who knew everything, who was with it, who was in this family. And so over the years, I became into this family, and I'm still living in my head, very introverted, not really knowing what to do, still following the path of least resistance, but I now know what a continuo is. Anyway, I want to just say I love you very much. And I think that's grown over the years. And Anne you are multi-talented. I don't know if everyone knows all the things that you have accomplished, but each of us have accomplished many things. I've done some teaching and become obsessive with a little Langley history. But Anne has been a preschool teacher. She has been a nurse. She has been a counselor and a grief counselor. And most recently, shown her talent as an artist. She also writes haiku. I remember the period when you were writing all those haiku. You get an idea driving down the island, you go over.
Caterer.
And a caterer.
Mother of 4 children.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
But I think that,
Oh, yeah.
that for each of us, I strongly feel that our best accomplishments are here today.
Well,
Our 4 children that have gone on to have wonderful lives so far, but yet to, just explore motherhood and and fatherhood. Oh yeah, Chris, you're here. and I just to have a family that is this strong and creative and exciting.
and all good people.
And all good people. And to have friends like this, and I think I just